The Little Old Woman and Her Pig. One time a little old woman was sweeping her room, and she found in the corner a bright silver shilling. "There," said the old woman. "Now I can buy that little pig I have been wanting for such a long time." She finished her sweeping in a hurry and put on her bonnet and her shawl and started off to market to buy her pig. And she carried a tin pail with her so she could gather blackberries along the way. The bushes were fairly loaded down with berries, so it did not take her long to fill her pail, and after that she got to market in no time. At first she could not find just the pig she wanted. Some were too little and some were too big, some were too fat and some were too thin. But at last she found just exactly the right pig. It was round and pink, and it had one black ear, and the curliest tail there was in the market. She paid just exactly a shilling for it, and then she tied a rope around its hind leg and started home with it, driving it before her and carrying the pail of blackberries on her arm. At first all went well. The little pig trotted quietly along, and the sun shone and the birds sang, and the little white clouds floated across the sky. But presently they came to a stile, and the pig did not want to go over it. Now there was no way to go round and no way to get home except over this stile. "Go on, Piggy," said the old woman, shaking the rope. But Piggy wouldn't go on. The old woman tried to drive him and he wouldn't go, and then she tried to lead him. And then she coaxed him and talked to him, but he just wouldn't go over the stile. At last the old woman quite lost patience with him. She saw a dog trotting along the road and she called to him. "Here! Here, good dog, come and bite Piggy, for I can't make Pig go over the stile, and at this rate, I won't get home till midnight with my pail of fine ripe blackberries." The dog stopped and looked at her and looked at the pig, but he would not bite it. Close by, a stick lay in the road, and the woman called to it, and she was quite cross by this time. "Stick, stick, beat dog, dog won't bite pig, pig won't go over the stile. And at this rate, I shan't get home till midnight with my pail of fine, ripe blackberries." But the stick wouldn't. It lay there quietly in the road, just as though she hadn't spoken to it. Over in the field a fire was burning, and the old woman called to it, "Fire, fire, burn stick, stick won't beat dog, dog won't bite pig, pig won't go over the stile. And at this rate I won't get home till midnight with my pail of fine ripe blackberries." But the fire wouldn't. Then the old woman called to a brook nearby. "Water, water, quench fire, fire won't burn stick, stick won't beat dog, dog won't bite pig, pig won't go over the stile, and I shan't get home till midnight with my pail of fine ripe blackberries." But the brook wouldn't. She saw an ox over in the field. "Ox, ox," she cried, "drink water. Water won't quench fire, fire won't burn stick, stick won't beat dog, dog won't bite pig, pig won't go over the stile, and I shan't get home till midnight with my pail of fine ripe blackberries." But the ox wouldn't. She saw a butcher riding along the road, and she called to him, "Butcher, butcher, kill ox. Ox won't drink water, water won't quench fire, fire won't burn stick, stick won't beat dog, dog won't bite pig, pig won't go over the stile. And I won't get home till midnight with my pail of fine ripe blackberries." But the butcher wouldn't. There was a piece of rope twisted about the fence. "Rope, rope," she cried. "Hang butcher. Butcher won't kill ox. Ox won't drink water. Water won't quench fire. Fire won't burn stick. Stick won't beat dog. Dog won't bite pig. Pig won't go over the stile. And I shan't get home till midnight with my pail of fine ripe blackberries." But the rope wouldn't. Then she called to a rat that lived in a hole under the stile. "Rat, rat, gnaw rope. Rope won't hang butcher. Butcher won't kill ox. Ox won't drink water. Water won't quench fire. Fire won't burn stick. Stick won't beat dog. Dog won't bite pig. Pig won't go over the stile. And I shan't get home till midnight with my pail of fine ripe blackberries." But the rat wouldn't. A cat was sitting on a gate post. "Puss, puss, catch rat," called the old woman. "Rat won't gnaw rope. Rope won't hang butcher. Butcher won't kill ox. Ox won't drink water. Water won't quench fire. Fire won't burn stick. Stick won't beat dog. Dog won't bite pig, and I shan't get home till midnight with my pail of fine ripe blackberries."
"No,"
answered Puss.
"I am very comfortable sitting here. Why should I disturb myself just to please you? But if you will get the red cow to give you a saucerful of milk for me, then I will catch the rat."
So the little old woman tied the pig to the stile, and then she climbed over the fence into the field where the red cow was standing. "Please, good cow, give me a saucerful of milk for Puss," she said, "so that Puss will catch the rat that won't gnaw the rope that won't hang the butcher. Who won't kill the ox, that won't drink the water, that won't quench the fire, that won't burn the stick, that won't beat the dog, that won't bite the pig, that won't go over the stile, so that I can get home before midnight with my pail of fine ripe blackberries," said the cow.
"If you will go over yonder to where the haymakers are working and fetch me a wisp of hay to eat, then I will give you the milk."
So the little old woman went over to the haymakers and said, "Please, good kind haymakers, give me a wisp of hay to give to the cow, so that she may give me some milk to give to the cat." The haymakers were very hot and thirsty, and they said,
"Very well, if you will go down to the stream and fetch us a pailful of water, we will give you the hay."
So the little old woman emptied out her blackberries on the ground very carefully, and then she hurried down to the stream and brought back to the haymakers a pailful of fresh, cool water. The haymakers drank deep of it, and then they gave the little old woman all the hay she wanted. She put the blackberries back in the pail and hurried back to the cow with the hay. The cow gladly gave her a saucerful of milk in return for the hay. The old woman took the milk to the cat, and while Puss was drinking it, the old woman untied the rope that fastened the pig to the stile. Puss finished the milk and licked up the last drop of it, and then she bounded down beside the stile and began to catch the rat. The rat squeaked with terror and began to gnaw the rope. The rope began to hang the butcher began to kill the ox. The ox began to drink the water began to quench the fire began to burn the stick began to beat the dog began to bite the pig, and the pig squealed at the top of its lungs and scrambled over the stile, and ran for home so fast that the little old woman could hardly keep up with it. They got home in less than no time. It wasn't even midday, and the little old woman had her blackberries for dinner, and what was left over she gave to the pig.